Hi, in this video, I'm going to share with you how I lost 10 pounds that I gained during a movie shoot last summer, the summer of 2019, when I was directing a new movie that I wrote called Things Are Tough All Over. So excuse me as I kind of look off to the side and shuffle paper around because there's some notes I made because I don't want to leave anything out. So Things Are Tough All Over is my first narrative, full-length feature film. Try saying that 3 times. I've also completed a documentary called Lady Wrestler, The Amazing Untold Story of African American Women in the Ring that chronicles the history of Black women in professional wrestling starting back in the 1950s. So my plan is to release both of these movies later this year. So the experience of making Things Are Tough All Over was really a great experience. It stars 2 really talented actors, Jacqueline Childs and Christopher Austin, as an African-American family struggling through the Great Recession of 2008. It's a dramedy, a combination of drama and comedy about the struggles that this couple has. And obviously there's a lot of parallels to today. They're trying to keep their heads above water, and interestingly enough, they end up having to homeschool their children. So filming this movie that I wrote and directed, it went really smoothly. Everyone got along really well. But I was wearing a lot of hats and I was running around a lot and didn't really have a lot of time for self-care, as they call it. So one side effect of that was gaining weight. Now, I'm sure you've all heard the term craft service. Now, that's the snacks that movie and television productions keep around for actors and crew to kind of keep everyone going during long days of filming. So since I served as my own caterer on top of being the writer, director, and many other jobs during the movie shoot, so I'd often buy whatever was quick, cheap, and easy. So a lot of times that meant, high calorie foods like donuts and cheese and crackers. And a lot of times I was rushing from one location to another, either to get to the set, someplace that we'd reserved, to do the filming, or rushing around picking up equipment for us to use during the shoot because I didn't have any production assistants. Well, I had a couple, but not full time. I was doing most of it myself. So a lot of times that meant stopping someplace and getting a burger and fries or a couple of burritos that I could just wolf down while I was driving because, it kind of takes too long to sit and eat something healthy like a salad. Plus, because we were filming on weekends, that meant that my normal workout routine, I just kind of had to put that by the wayside. That went by the wayside because I didn't have time on Saturday mornings to do my normal weightlifting workout. And on Sunday mornings, normally when I'm not filming, I go for a distance run. And I didn't have time to run on Sunday mornings because I was busy scrambling around trying to get ready for filming. So that really had the combination of eating a lot of high calorie food and not exercising as much, that really ended up resulting in me packing on these extra 10 pounds that I could not seem to lose for the life of me for the longest time. So I won't tell you my actual age because I guess I'm kind of vain about that. But let's just say I have not yet turned 50. I'm a 70s baby, Generation X. And my normal weight, I'm 6'2". Well, actually, I'm 6'1.5". So my normal weight is anywhere between 195 and 200. I fluctuate depending on how much I exercise and eat. That's under normal circumstances, between 195 and 200 pounds under normal circumstances. So before I started filming the movie Things Are Tough All Over, if I got on the scale and saw that I was even close to 200, or even if I went over 200, that definitely meant I had been not exercising as much as usual, or that I had really overindulged, like I went to a party or something and had too much to eat, or that I just kind of went to a buffet or something and just kind of pigged out. But after filming Things Are Tough All Over and having all those, our filming schedule was like basically 2 months. We wrapped up Labor Day weekend of 2019. So those 2 months of not working out on weekends and eating all this high calorie food, I stepped on the scale and I was consistently over 200 pounds. In fact, I had pretty much gained 10 pounds because my weight like the set point for my weight after we filmed the movie was like between like 204 and 210. And to make things worse, so quarantine hit, in the spring of, or just before the spring of this year. And that just made it easy to stay inside and to justify not moving around and kind of giving yourself comfort food. So how did I lose the weight? How did I drop those pesky 10 pounds? So every year when my birthday, which is on August 2nd, comes up, I always set some kind of fitness goal. And I'll just be honest, a lot of times my fitness goal is to get ripped washboard abs. Like, oh, before I turn 50, I'm going to get those washboard abs I've always wanted. Now, that didn't happen this year. It never happens. I don't have washboard abs. In fact, I still have a little bit of jelly, as Destiny's Child would say it, around my midsection to lose. But I did lose that extra 10 pounds I was carrying around. So how did I do it? Here's what I did. After struggling to lose weight for months and months, around the middle of June, it was like a switch just flipped. It was like, I just realized my birthday's coming up in a couple of months and I have to get serious and I have to stop procrastinating on eating better and exercising more. And I just realized I had to get the taste of junk food out of my mouth. I just could not keep, oh, just this once I'll have some candy, or oh, just this once I'll have this piece of cake. I just had to cut that out. So here's some very specific things that I cut out. So one of the first things I got rid of was I had this habit of stopping at fast food restaurants on Saturdays and Sundays. This was even before and after we filmed. This was kind of a bad habit I had that I didn't really realize was a bad habit. But once I gained that extra 10 pounds, I quickly realized this was a bad habit. And that was stopping at fast food restaurants on the weekend and getting some kind of breakfast wrap or sandwich with like sausage, egg, and cheese, or ham, egg, and cheese. Now, I'm not a vegetarian, I'm not a vegan. To me, there's nothing wrong with doing that every once in a while. But I had really made a lifestyle out of kind of rewarding myself on the weekends by having a breakfast sandwich. And it was just too much doing that every week. It was just keeping the weight on me. Another thing, and this is really kind of sad, is I had to stop drowning everything in sriracha sauce. Now, one of the things I would do is when I would stop and get these breakfast wraps or breakfast sandwiches, as I would oftentimes I'd bring a bottle of sriracha sauce with me in the car and eat, and drown my breakfast wrap or my sandwich in sriracha sauce. And also just regular meals, I'd put sriracha sauce on whatever kind of protein I was having. And I did not realize that sriracha sauce had so much sugar in it. So one of the tips that I've discovered over the years is from fitness trainer Bob Harper from The Biggest Loser, is he says, if sugar is the first or second ingredient in a food, do not eat it. And I did not, one day I just happened to be putting sriracha sauce on one of my little breakfast wraps and saw that sugar was the second ingredient. I didn't even know sriracha sauce had sugar in it. I guess it's sort of like spicy ketchup, because ketchup has sugar in it. So that was a wake-up call for me, and I had to stop using the sriracha sauce, just had to give it up. Now I have a like half-used bottle, because I don't like to waste food. I'll probably just gradually use the rest of the sriracha sauce, like, every now and then until it's gone, and then just stop buying it. This is not a knock against sriracha sauce. If you love it, keep buying it, but it's just something I found that was one of those little things that was keeping weight on me. So being at home during the quarantine, the plus side was that I started making healthier meals at home more consistently. So like salads with protein is basically my lunch and dinner. In addition to being a filmmaker, my full-time gig is I work as a journalist and I work in communications. So a lot of times before the quarantine, I would stop after work and I would get like a salad, like a chicken salad and a bowl of chili from a fast food restaurant. And I justify having the chili, saying, especially when it was cold outside, and lie to myself that, these crackers that I'm having with the chili, they're just not that many calories. And as it gets close to my birthday, I'll give up the crackers, which are basically just simple carbs with nothing but empty calories. So I had to give up the chili. So now when I eat out, which I do a lot less often, I just get the salad and I don't even get the chili. So that eliminates the temptation of the crackers. Another thing I stopped doing that I used to do a lot when before the quarantine is, when I would stop and get food after work, is a lot of times I would go to a grocery store and I'd get either back to the wrap things. I get like a deli wrap, like a chicken chipotle deli wrap, or some kind of like deli sandwich, and a big old bag of what I call quote unquote health, what I thought was healthy chips, like baked potato chips or baked sweet potatoes or something, and an apple. Then I would eat the whole bag of chips and the big ass wrap and the big ass sandwich. And I would think, oh, this is relatively healthy. It's, it has lettuce, the sandwich has lettuce, the wrap has lettuce, and it has grilled chicken or whatever. Sort of knowing that it was a lot of empty carbs, simple carbs and empty calories, but sort of justifying it to myself. And so I just cut that out. I don't do that anymore. I mean, I'll probably, being human, fall off the wagon and, do it every now and then, but doing it all the time, that was keeping weight on. Another thing is, even though it's summertime, I've stopped going to like McDonald's and Wendy's and getting, an ice cream cone or a Frosty. That was keeping weight on me, even though again, there's nothing wrong with these kind of treats every now and then, but it was a lifestyle. It was something I was doing 2 or 3 times a week. And I just had to cut it out. And, again, we can always justify things to ourselves. I would always say to myself, oh, it's just a small Frosty, or it's a junior Frosty, or it's a small ice cream cone. And, but those little extra calories with all that sugar in it really kind of adds up. So one of the biggest things that I cut out that really, really made a difference in the weight loss was I had this habit of getting a big bag of popcorn. I mean, like what they call family size bag of that skinny pop, and candy, and binging on that. I would normally do it on weekends, like when I was kind of exhausted after a long week, or just kind of bored at home and I was about to watch a movie or something. I go get a big bag of skinny pop or some kind of popcorn that I would say is healthy. And it is relatively healthy, but not when you're having a whole big bag of it, family size bag of it to yourself. And I'd also justify saying, oh, having Raisinets is healthy because they're raisins and it's dark chocolate, or it's Twizzlers, which doesn't have that much sugar in it as other kinds of candy bars. So I would literally do this like 2 or 3 times a week, even sometimes during the week. Another thing I would do is when I would grocery shop, I would binge on popcorn and candy because I used to dread grocery shopping. I actually kind of started enjoying it during the quarantine, weirdly enough, because I just, it's the one time I would get out during the week. So I would have this habit of when I go to the grocery store, either before or after grocery shopping, I'd get a big bag of popcorn and some kind of candy, and I would justify it by saying, oh, I'm going to be eating healthy all week by buying healthy food at the grocery store. So this little indulgence of this popcorn and candy, I'm entitled to it. Cut that out, and that helped drop the weight as well. I also joined a gym, and just my luck, I always say like I have this weird kind of, I'm like a hex on gyms. Every time I join a gym, they close. So just before COVID hit, I joined a gym in my hometown of Columbus, Ohio, where I still live. And of course, when COVID hit and the state of Ohio shut down everything, I wasn't able to go to the gym. And I had started working out with a trainer at the gym. So luckily, my trainer, Josh, he gave me some workouts that I could do at home during the quarantine. And plus, I have tons of fitness books and DVDs that spell out workouts, both cardio and weight workouts. So I'm not hurting. And plus, there's YouTube. There's just tons and tons of workouts online that you can access. One channel that I found really helpful was AllBlanc TV. They have all kinds of really, really low impact exercises that you can do in your house. Like if you live in an apartment, you don't want to do a lot of jumping, so you don't want to disturb the neighbors. I recommend AllBlanc TV. And if I remember, I'll put the link to AllBlanc TV in the description to this video. So after the gym reopened, after the state of Ohio kind of lifted some of the restrictions late in spring, early summer, my trainer Josh and I started working out again at the gym. Now I only go once a week for a half an hour, and that may not seem like a lot, but number one, it limits my exposure to COVID, and both Josh and I wear masks and gloves. And also, Josh really pushes me through strenuous workouts that I definitely would not push myself through on my own. And he comes up with routines that even I wouldn't think to look up online. So it's been helpful having a trainer. That really kind of was that little extra push that I needed. I also made more time for working out at home. Now, I'm going to mention some video recommendations, some YouTube video recommendations that really helped me. And I'll get into the details a little later, but one of the videos that I want to mention right now is this video called I Want Abs. It's a documentary by a filmmaker named Sergei Boutenko. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And like me, he's a filmmaker who just got tired of carrying around extra weight. And in this documentary, he spells out how he lost all this weight and lost body percentage fat over the course of 4 months and got defined abs within 4 months. And he sells an ebook of his workout routine and his meal, his diet plan. Those are $15 a piece each, or at least when I bought them earlier this year, they were $15 a piece each. Totally worth it. His recipe for smoothies really helped me take off the last few extra pounds. I started substituting one of my snacks during the day because I believe in like 3 square meals and a couple of snacks during the day. And so what I would do is I would supplement one of my snacks. Normally, like one of my snacks would be beef jerky and string cheese. Instead of having that, I'd have one of Sergei's green smoothies. And my weight really started to drop when I started supplementing the green smoothie for one of my snacks during the day. So a big part of weight loss is motivation, keeping yourself motivated. And in addition to Sergei's documentary, 2 videos that I found on YouTube that have been really helpful are one by motivational speaker Mel Robbins, where it's like a short video, it's like maybe 6 minutes, where she just spells out what dieting is, what weight loss is. There's certain foods you can eat and there's certain foods you can't eat. It's as plain and simple as that. And she gives you a very concrete, realistic way of, if you feel tempted to binge, write down, like pre-plan, like write down a list of things that you'll do to avoid binging. Like you'll take a hot bath, or you'll call a friend, or you'll go for a walk, or you'll listen to music, or watch something on TV that you find entertaining rather than binging. Now, I have to admit that doesn't always work for me, but just hearing her spell out in plain black and white, when you're trying to lose weight, there's certain foods you can eat and there's certain foods you can't eat. That is really helpful. Now, another documentary that really helped me that I found that's available on YouTube, at least as of me recording this video, is a documentary called Fit to Fat and Back by fitness trainer and model Paul P.J. James, in which he lets go of his really ripped physique and puts on a significant amount of weight and then loses it again within 6 months. Well, it's all within the course of a year. He gains weight over 6 months and then loses it over 6 months to show his overweight fitness clients how to do it. And I just find it fascinating and really motivational. So those 3 videos, Sergei's I Want Abs, Fit to Fat and Back, and the Mel Robbins video, I listen to those periodically just to stay motivated, to stay on the fitness track. And I'll put links to those videos in the description of this video of mine that I'm recording. Now, as a writer, I try to avoid cliches, but I'm going to wrap up this video by saying that if I lost the weight, if I can do it, you can do it. That's totally a cliche, but it's true. I've never been particularly athletic. In fact, I was always the kid who was uncoordinated and got chosen last for playground games at recess, and was horrible at gym class. I remember one time in gym class at Eastmore High School, we were studying basketball, and the basketball hit me in the head and everyone laughed. And I remember one time I went to Holy Spirit, a Catholic school, up through 8th grade. I remember running the wrong way down the field when me and some of the other boys were playing football. So I'm not by any means some kind of like big fitness guru. What I did was, to lose this weight, was identified my bad habits, and I just set about to change them. And if I did it, you can do it too. So I'm going to close this video by giving you a look at some of the video diary entries that I did during this weight loss process. Of course, it's still going to be work to maintain my weight and not slide back into the bad habits. And I'm also going to give you a sneak peek at the movie Things Are Tough All Over. So thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button so you'll know whenever I post a new video. I normally post every week. Take care of yourself, and I wish you luck in whatever fitness journey you're on. It's the morning of Thursday, July 2nd. I'm about to work out, do a kind of quick weightlifting routine. I'm just going to bust out a quick workout before I have to log on to my day job. So yesterday my weight was at 200 exactly, and my goal is to get down to below 200 and reduce my body fat to below 24%, which is what it was when I first started working out with my trainer before the quarantine began. So let's see what my weight is today. So my weight is 201.2, which is, I gained like a pound because I had a Greek salad yesterday. Before I went grocery shopping, I had run out of healthy food, so I went to get something to eat before I went grocery shopping, and I had a Diet Coke, which I never drink pop, but I decided to have a Diet Coke because I like that kick, and I normally have seltzer water, and I was out of seltzer water, so 201 is doable. It's not where I want to be, but it's like 5 to 10 pounds less than what I've been over the past few months, which is great. It is Friday, July 3rd, 2020. I just woke up, as you can see from my spontaneous faux hawk. My hair does what it wants to do, and there's no way I could style my hair to stand up in a peak like that if I tried. So it's bedhead. But so yesterday was interesting, and I was hoping to have 30 straight days leading up to my birthday of breaking my bad habit of binging in the middle of the night. I often wake up and this, like the song Hungry by the Wolf by Duran Duran, I get up and raid the refrigerator. I put my retainer in. Yes, I still have my retainer from like middle school or high school, because I had braces as a kid. And that's been sort of a deterrent in the midnight binging, but a lot of times I still get up and take my retainer out and raid the refrigerator, then put my retainer back in, and that's what I did last night. So I got up in the middle of the night and ate grapes and a peach. So I'm kind of afraid to step on the scale again this morning, because I also had a banana with the protein bar that I normally just have just the protein bar. So I ended up eating more than I would normally eat this morning because I had the banana. Ooh, I guess I was really pigging out. So I'm going to step on the scale, and it might be above 201. I did take a long bike ride yesterday evening, and it was great. The weather was perfect. So I'm trying to get in 50 minutes of sustained exercise a day, 3 to 5 times a week, based on a plan I'm following. So we'll see. Let's step on the scale and see what the number is. Okay, so the number on the scale was the same as it was yesterday, 201.2. So at least I didn't go up, because that would have been depressing AF and very unmotivating. So I'm going to just try to be careful. And luckily, I shouldn't say luckily, but with the coronavirus, there's not going to be a lot of the barbecues and the normal temptation to overeat over a holiday weekend. So I've got a base to continue to build from. Not having gained any weight, but not having lost either, so I can live with that. I'm out here at Blacklick Park. It's Sunday, July 12th, 2020. I just had a good run, and it's the first good run I'd had in weeks and weeks, because I just got new running shoes. The good news is that I felt really energetic. I don't even feel famished the way I often do after a run. And maybe the part of the reason why I don't feel famished is because last night I just totally fell off the wagon. This is really, I only have a few weeks left before my birthday on August 2nd, and this is when I should really be doubling down and seeing the finish line. But instead, I ate 2 packages of honey roasted peanuts in the middle of the night on top of 2 packages of animal crackers, and it's probably, I don't know how many calories that was. Luckily they were small packages, but that I've had sitting around for a while. But it's almost like my inner teenager is rebelling against losing weight. On this past Friday, I finally got down to 199 again, and my goal is to be under 200 consistently. So it's going to be a battle, but I just need to keep going, keep pressing forward, even though I kind of had a relapse last night. So we'll see what the damage is when I get on the scale this morning. Okay, so when I stepped on the scale, I'm at an even 200.0. So the damage is not as bad as I thought. I think because I exercised really vigorously yesterday and this morning I went for a run. So I think that helped minimize the damage of the excess snacking. But I got to stay on track, and I will do my best to stay motivated to do so. It is Sunday, July 19th, 2020. So I'm doing pretty good on my fitness goals. I was able to start meeting with my trainer again for the first time since before 4th of July weekend. So I was able to go back to the gym, with my PPE, with my mask and my gloves, got in a half an hour workout, then went rollerblading afterward yesterday, and then got in a good run this morning at the park. So as of Friday, I was down to 197.8. Yesterday, I gained a pound, 198.8, because I went out to eat, wearing my mask, of course, and went a little crazy with snacking, which seems to be my Achilles heel. Snacking sometimes during the day, and then really at night is really something I have to work on. But my goal was to get down to 195 by my birthday, so I'm very close. If I really hunker down and kind of discipline myself and cut back on the snacking, I can get there. So we're kind of back on track with the fitness. So I'm excited. I have got to give God the glory. Today is Friday, July 24th, 2020. I reached my goal of hitting 195 pounds a week in advance. My birthday is not till next Sunday, August 2nd, and I went running this morning for just under 50 minutes and got on the scale, and my weight is 195. Now the trick is maintaining this weight or even getting below it and keeping the weight off until my birthday. So I'm going to try my damnedest. Saturday, July 25th, 2020. I just got through working out at the gym with my trainer, obviously wearing my mask and gloves just to keep safe from COVID. So that was a half-hour workout, and I really felt it. It was a combination of what my trainer calls non-traditional cardio, like box jumps and strength training and core. Now, in order to meet my 50 minutes for the day, I'm going to attempt to go rollerblade. Let's see if I have the energy.
Get here, Rodney.
We did everything you're supposed to do.
We play by the rules our entire lives.
We waited to have kids until we finished college and got married.
We got good jobs, we worked hard.
We go to church, we pay our tithes, we pay our bills.
We have the 2 kids in the house. We're living the so-called American dream, but where has it gotten us?
Why is everything going to...
Come on!
He took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.